On-Line reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. A double dose of economics leads off this report. Joseph W. Brady describes the Mojave River Valley Industrial Market and shares Jim Wolf's Southern California Industrial Market analysis.
Explain. Well, the industrial market out here, Terry, is I mean, it's actually gone crazy. So just this afternoon, and we're filming this in the really early part of October, we get an email from one of the cities. So the cities send out from their economic development department to the brokerage community and say, hey, we have a tenant that has a need to move in the area with 200,000 feet, and I just immediately replied, it doesn't exist. So our marketplace, 200,000 feet. So let's look at Southern California, okay? So everything below, really from Ventura County down. Ventura County has a very small industrial mix, but with LA County, Orange County, so LA County has 1 billion with a B square feet of industrial space. Orange County has about 250 million. San Diego's a shade less than 200 million. The Inland Empire, Riverside and San Bernardino counties, about 700,000. Okay, Imperial County is probably 6 to 8 million, so it's kind of real nominal. But when you look at Southern California, we have about 2 billion square feet of space, and it's still the hottest commodity out there. The industrial users will really pay whatever they need to in order to get in these buildings. But what we're starting to find down below, Pomona, I think Miraloma, Corona are taking a look at moratoriums. I think Upland's got one that they're working on. A lot of the cities down below are saying, whoa. Too many big boxes, too many truck trips, and we've kind of had enough. So when you look at the market up here, and I go back to, we're in 2022, so go back to 2020, really about the time that they broke ground on the Modway building over in Hesperia. If you had talked to any broker up here that sold land, and there's probably 10 that really know what they're doing. I'm not going to name out my competitors, but there's 10 that they're very formidable competitors, and then we have some brokers from out of the area that are very formidable. An 80-acre piece like that was probably worth somewhere around $3 a foot. Okay, today if you could find that, a developer from down below, he'd pay you 10 or 15 bucks, 20 bucks a foot. Doesn't matter. Why? Because the high mark was set in Ontario last year at $107 a square foot. Okay? So do the math. Okay? That's absolutely incredible amount of dollars for an acre of property. It got to $92 a square foot in Fontana. So as these big boxes came in and they assembled these parcels, they've literally pushed out everybody. So during the first 6 months of this year, we had more calls from trucking companies looking to come on up here. And brokers from down below, the experienced brokers, it was easy to say to them, I don't think that anybody wants to have a trucking yard next to a residential subdivision. So we've been honored that we represent one of the original families that bought the 800 acres on Hesperia Road and Bear Valley Road back in 1958. And we had 12 acres off of Ridgecrest that we're working on right now, right where Huerta is, and where that 370,000 cubic yards of dirt that we helped broker with Skanska. And I probably could have sold that piece 15 times until Monday to trucking companies. Now, what I said to the brokers, and got into it with a broker probably about 4 months ago, he said, no, we're going to make an offer. We're going to go to the city. I said, you don't understand. He said, well, it's zoned M2, heavy industrial. I don't think anybody in Spring Valley Lake, nor anybody in Spring Valley Ridge, or anybody that lives along that Ridgecrest corridor wants to see 50 trucks more a day coming down Bear Valley Road, turning left on Ridgecrest, and going in, and then sitting in a truck terminal and idling next to railroad tracks next to those homes up there. It just doesn't make political sense. So the trucking requirements have scaled down, but they're still on out there. So industrial, there are very few parcels of ground of 80 acres or more in any one of the cities up here, okay, including Barstow, that have full utilities. So we're looking at sewer, water, gas, electric. Now that doesn't mean that a developer, and we're looking at a deal right now, through a broker I know very well down below, they're willing to pull the utilities a mile. They don't care. They don't care if they pay $10 a square foot, and they don't care if they spend $20 a square foot on the improvements, because they're getting the dollar. Okay, a brand new 1 million square foot building in the Ontario Fontana market right now gets $1.10 a square foot triple net. Okay, when you think about that, you got a million. That's $1,200,000 a month in rent. When I first came to High Desert here, if you got 30 cents a square foot for a 10,000 square foot building, you had payday. Those are now $1 a foot. A great longtime friend, Jim Wolf, who was a CRE, really one of the smartest guys I've ever met. He worked for Dr. Gobar. He worked for Dr. Gobar for years with Alonzo. Jim called me back in February and said, Joe, I've done kind of an analysis. Says the Southern California industrial sector is one of the most dynamic industrial markets in the nation, if not the world. To better understand shifts within the region, Alfred Gobar Associates conducted a detailed evaluation of the 5-county region, Coachella Valley, Mojave River Valley, Antelope Valley, and the Oxnard Plain. The net absorption, okay, there was 53.2 million square feet of net absorption activity across the 5-county region in 2021, which exceeded the net absorption activity for the prior 3 years. Okay, so that tells you something. So think about it. You have 52 million feet in 1 year, and in the prior 3 years when we're in a rural economy, San Bernardino County accounted for 43.7 to 55% of the net absorption over the last 4 years. If anybody watching this has not been down through Moreno Valley, down the 215, and then ultimately out to 60 where the Skechers is, let me give a plug to Ito Benzivi. So Ito Benzivi owns, he has a full entitlement on a 3,000 acre project right next to Skechers on both sides of the 60 that will allow him 40 million square feet on the ground and 120 million feet in the air. So that means he could go probably 5 or 6 stories high with an industrial building, very similar to what they're doing down. Amazon's building the largest building that they've got in the world, and it's 4.3 million. It's down Chino. He's going to start, his plan was to start breaking ground next March, fully grading all the streets, curbs and gutters, all the utilities for 3,000 acres, $1 billion investment. And all the streets would be smart streets. So all the streets will allow trucks that are, basically driverless to be able to operate with them. So he's got that project there. But if you go back down the 215 through Moreno Valley and by Marsh Air Force Base and through Paris, you shake your head and go, where did all these buildings pop up? And these are not little 500,000 square foot buildings. You've got 1 million to 1.8 million to almost 2 million feet. San Bernardino County accounted for 56.4% of the consummated industrial land sales across the 5-county area for the last 4.5 years, with the Mojave River Valley submarket responsible for 36.4% of that. The Mojave River Valley market also accounts for 36.1% of industrial acreage currently in escrow or under contract through the 5-county region, followed by the Antelope Valley at 22.3%, Coachella Valley at 14.1%, and the Oxnard Plain at 4%. So you have companies like Covington, okay, that have come in here and they have strategically purchased. They've got a nice deal out of SCLA that we have facilitated. That closes fairly soon. And they have really positioned themselves as, I think, the premier developer out here outside of what Prologis has done, kind of off base. But they went into the Antelope Valley, and I think they didn't go in quietly. They went in boldly. A couple of years ago, they worked out a deal with the city of Palmdale. And they've got 7 million feet that they're entitling over on Avenue M and Sierra Highway. So they're positioned. Then Transwestern has come in, and they're through the leadership of Rick John down at Dom Commercial. They've got 3 million feet. So all of a sudden, you take a market like Palmdale, and you drop 10 million feet of new buildings in. There's kind of a new day. So the industrial market continues to move pretty well. I think the bigger challenge that we're going to have as a region, and I challenge my fellow brokers, and I challenge our city councils, all 5 city councils, our city managers, our planning commissioners, our economic development. We need to be sure we have the employees up here trained to go to work in those industries. As I've said before, if you look where Highway 395 and I-15 is, that split, and you go right above where the Pilot Travel Center is, which I did. I was proud to do that when George Newton was still alive. That was a 17-acre. That was the largest ground lease ever done up here in the high desert, 17 acres. If you look between those two, the triangle, up to Main Street, and then above Main Street on both sides of Highway 395, there's 11 million feet in the planning or approval stage for industrial. It's daunting. And then the Modway building was done, and now they've broken ground on the other two that are next to it. So the market looks really good and looks good for a really long time. I know that Southern California Logistics Airport, Tyson Chase with Prologis and Kim Schneider, they've got almost 6,000 worldwide corporate clients, so they're able to market directly to them. I understand they've raised the price of their ground substantially, and they're really not in a position. They don't like to sell; they really like to lease. So we see we see just continued great things in the industrial market.
And oh yes, that OPEC announcement.
So when the energy policy in our country is pathetic. When the first thing that Biden did when he came in and was to get at Trump was to cut off the gas pipeline, what did he do? The last time I checked, whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant. This is under Biden's watch. It's not under Trump's watch. When Trump was president, we were exporting oil outside of our country, and gas prices were competitive. So do I worry about me living a mile and a half away? Terry, this bites into everybody. Think about the 85 to 90,000 commuters a day that drive up and down that hill, okay? That they don't have a choice. So the tens of millions of dollars per month that are coming right out of the pocket of high desert or Mojave River Valley residents, that should be of some concern. Sending a stimulus check to us right before the election, come on. I think we all can figure out what that's all about, so it's kind of stupid. But Biden, I think, should be held accountable. And I really do believe now that November 8th is going to be a big calling. I think it's going to be a wake-up call for our country. And if people like $8 a gallon, so we'll find out if OPEC, we'll find out how strong the relationship is with our president, who has, I think, zero in foreign policy experience. They don't even they won't take his calls, in Saudi Arabia. But we'll find out tomorrow if they roll back 1 million barrels a day, we could be looking at $8 a gallon, and you're just going to stop people from doing all kinds of stuff. So I hope that whoever is watching this, reach out to your local elected leaders. I think that Jay Obernolte, our congressman, is doing just a great job. He understands. He's a businessman. Both him and Heather have done well and all that. But we can't continue to do this, or something's going to give, Terry. I think something's going to crack. So.
Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery. Drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated locally since 1954. The Bradco Companies. Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies. The High Desert Mojave River Valley's longest standing commercial brokerage firm. We Got 'em Tees. Your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. We Got 'em Tees. Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities.
Serious legal problems? Don't go alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzek. Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Iwanzek Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activity, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV, 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. Joseph W. Brady is asked to respond to BNSF Railroad's Barstow International Gateway announcement.
It's going to take. It's not only going to take patience, Terry. It's going to take, I think, the city working very well with BNSF and the city leadership being stable. The city's had some challenges out there. And I'll be sure to send this clip out to the council. And I would ask the council this. I know we're in an election year and we have 2 council seats up, and that's okay. But no matter what, I sat on a public board at Victor Valley Community College where we didn't get along, okay? And I saw the outcome of the fights and all the negativity. Does nobody any good. As I said to one of the council members today, I said eventually somebody on the council has to step up and say enough is enough. Extend an olive branch. You don't have to like anybody, okay? Extend an olive branch, really believe in it, and say, what are we here for? We're here for the residents of Barstow. So Saturday, October 1st, I think really started a brand new era for Barstow. And if you listen to the leaders speak out there about it was its 75th anniversary. The city did a great job. They held it at the Harvey House. They had games and rides and food and taco trucks and vendors selling stuff. They did a really good job. For those of us that have been in the business, it wasn't a big announcement. What it was kind of the culmination of years of waiting what was going to happen. So in essence, if you know Barstow well and you know where Main Street is or National Trails Highway, and you know where Linwood Road is, if you take the area, Linwood Road is going to be the east boundary. Main Street roughly is the south boundary. The community, not Community Boulevard, but not all the way to the Mojave River will be the north boundary. But the far west boundary is going to be down a little bit past Tinkley Road, which is, 4.5, 5 miles down. Project size approximately 4,500 acres. They're anticipating 20,000 direct and indirect jobs. So I think they've got the environmental impact report stage they've got to go through. They've got the annexation. So a lot of that property is in the county. So it's got to go through the LAFCO process, the EIR process. There's no doubt there's going to be lawsuits filed by all kinds of environmental groups and extortion. I'm sure the BNSF is prepared for it. I think the BNSF did a great job in the announcement. I think the city did a great job in their announcement. Hopefully this is the beginning of a great opportunity for people to work together. Sometimes I find, and I've done business out in Barstow on and off for 30 years, I think there's a tendency for people to, not want others to succeed as well as they do. And I think, Terry, and I've always believed that if everybody succeeds, all you do is you're raising the standard of living, and then everybody has fun. So, I applaud the city manager Willie A. Hopkins Jr., the mayor Paul Courtney. I hope that the council can come together and embrace this and really figure out the strategy to facilitate this, because this has been in the works for a long time. But at the end of the day, is it going to be a great economic machine long term, and will it bring retail and industrial and needed housing and things like that? I'm really tickled pink. We have that project out at Avenue Well that we've been working on for years. We got probably another year of easements to work through. God bless Barstow, God bless the residents. And really, this is also, I think that there's going to be a lot of spillover. I mean, places like Hellendale and Silver Lakes are just, they're going to do really well. And I think there'll be some opportunities on out there. And I think that it's going to afford some other opportunities development-wise. So I'm pleased for everybody.
On this date in high desert history, sports, entertainment, and otherwise, combining entertainment with history, these museums in this 2005 report. It was 2016 when this story first ran, legendary rancher Earl Graham explaining his family's True Pasture Beef. Museums revive relics and histories of days long past to futuristic adventures bringing science alive. The Big Bear Museum takes us through the romantic and often exciting history of this community. Displays and exhibits reflect the importance and impact of mining in the Holcomb Valley with artifacts and a rare stamp mill. There's a furnished, authentic 1875 log cabin. Cattle ranching and lumbering were other vital occupations at the 7,000-foot level of the San Bernardino Mountains. There's ample machinery, antique glassware, historic photographs, memorabilia, in this picturesque community where it often seems time stands still. The Big Bear Museum is open throughout the summer, from Memorial Day weekend to the second Sunday in October. Open weekends, Monday holidays, and Wednesdays. A cautious cougar keeps a close eye on who comes and goes, and no Big Bear Museum would be complete without a bear. We encroach upon those of you who squirm at the sight of a cockroach to segue from history to futuristic displays at the California Science Center. The mission of this 252,000 square foot facility is to stimulate and nurture an interest in math, science, and technology. Exhibits include some live inhabitants. In the world of life, learn how a bat navigates through the sounds of its audio-sensory perception. Many exhibits provide interactive entertainment for youngsters, including the Solar Light Cars demonstration. There are opportunities for the youngest visitors to take delight in construction projects, while others participate in a video version of volleyball or soccer. Exhibits are elegant in design, avant-garde in presentation. Featured attractions are showcased periodically. On this occasion, the Titanic. All realms of science are explored, from the wheel to behind the wheel to the effects of flight in space. The California Science Center and its Air and Space Gallery are open every day except Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. It's 3 stories tall, can accommodate up to 4,000 visitors at one time. The 5,000-pound hyperbolic paraboloid is an amazing kinetic sculpture. If a museum is to your choosing, but you don't care to leave the local area, there's the Victor Valley Museum. Featured are indigenous creatures of the high desert, alongside Native American artifacts, and many a fact-filled exhibit depicting life in the Victor Valley a century past. The Victor Valley Museum and Art Gallery on Apple Valley Road off Bear Valley Road is open Wednesday through Saturday 10 until 4, Sundays noon until 4. The historic Route 66 Museum in Old Town Victorville attracts visitors from around the world who find Mother Road memorabilia.
The Graham family has been cattle ranchers for more than 5 generations. Christy Graham has been raising cattle for more than 25 years. The Graham family's mission is to provide individuals with the power to promote positive social change in the way beef is raised.
Everything that we deal or see today is important in that circle of life, whether it's a weed or whether it's a luscious plant. They all have equal value in what we do.
Equally important as vegetation, the water. The headwaters to the Mojave River flow through this ranch, and the water leaves in pristine condition.
For the chloroforms and everything in it, they call it pristine water. When you think of a waterway leaving a ranch, you would expect to see some discoloration. You would expect to see something here other than just absolutely crystal clear, beautiful water leaving a ranch. But if you do it right, that's what you get. This water is going to be drinking by every school kid, by everybody that is downstream from us. And this is the very beginning, because our water runs inland and runs north instead of to the ocean. So this water is going to be used from, like I said, from here to Death Valley.
The Grahams keep true to the roots of the land, never using herbicides or fertilizers or machinery. Everything is done on horseback or on foot. The beef you buy from Pure Pasture Beef are cattle that the Graham family has raised for the cow's entire life. The grass the cattle eat is what grows naturally. There is no odor stockyards here. Bacteria has been reduced to where there is less in manure than in vegetation.
This is a piece of cow manure that has hit the ground. You're going to look around, you're going to see a lot of this. It's right next to where, when it rains, it can run into the water. If you took this per pound and this per pound, in the same condition, meaning in the same degradable condition, that's a little further degraded than this is at this point. The bacteria count would be less here than it is there. Why that is because this animal, when we fed this animal, we did not bring any grains, we did not bring any supplements in. All the animal ate was what was here. This is less pollutant than the bush is by itself, because the cow has taken the energy out of that.
True pasture beef cattle live in one of two locations, either central or southern California. The ranches total over 5,000 acres. The Graham family's mission is to provide individuals with the power to promote positive social change in the way beef is raised, giving you the opportunity to buy environmentally sustainable and locally raised beef.
We are at the Apple Valley Legacy Museum. Did I say that right, Marcy?
Yes, you did. Hi, I'm Marcy Taylor, and I started the Apple Valley Legacy Museum as a sister project to the Apple Valley Legacy Trail. And we're at the Bob Hope Cottage at the Apple Valley Inn, number 153, right below the trail and right below the historic Hilltop House.
Yes, you did. The Apple Valley Legacy Museum. Let's take a look inside and see the journey through history that the museum provides.
Over in the corner, we have all the ranches with Pearl Bailey's ranch, the Murray Ranch. Joe Louis was there, and they attended a rodeo out here. And Ebony Magazine came out here to write up, and you're surprised to see Joe Louis.
Well, we have tried to display all aspects of Apple Valley history. Of course, we have Apple Valley Ranchos and Bass and Westland stuff. We have extensive Roy and Dale stuff. We have the Terry Lee Dolls represented, the fire department, the school district, the Apple Valley Dairy.
Well, usually the Apple Valley menus and the old things up there, and the thing about the pigeon. Outside each room, there was a cage with a pigeon in it. If you want a dinner or something to drink, you'd go out and write a little note, stick in a pigeon's foot, throw it up, and it'd fly over to the end.
This project is backed by the Chamber, by the Apple Valley Historical Committee, by Mojave Historical Society, the Friends of the Library. We also have a Friends of the Library display, and we're pretty excited about it. The town has come together. Our mayor alarmed it for free.
Not alarming? Community support in motion. May we make the motion and second your invitation to attend the Apple Valley Legacy Museum ribbon cutting this Wednesday afternoon.
This State and High Desert Mojave River Valley history brought to you by the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the High Desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery. Drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Bodies. Family owned and operated locally since 1954. The Bradco Companies. Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies. The High Desert Mojave River Valley's longest standing commercial brokerage firm. We Got 'em Tees. Your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. We Got 'em Tees. Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the events, youth activities, and programs of our High Desert Mojave River Valley communities.
Serious legal problems? Don't go it alone. The other guys have attorneys just waiting to blow you away. Contact Iwanzek. Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Iwanzek Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, Conference and Convention Center for the High Desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. That's going to do it for this edition of Terry Kurtz Online as we close out to the pounding rhythm of Hank Miranda's Final Exit. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time around.